If you guys ever feel like someone's watching you, I just want to say, you're not being paranoid, they definitely are, and you need to run. There's a strange tinge to the morning air, like a secret little whisper only I know is there. Some people turn their heads when I walk in, this can only mean one thing.
The police are out to kill me, my name is on the list. There's a secret evil club of every girl I ever kissed. The government's gonna put my face on screen, they're the reason why I have gay dreams.
Okay, calm down, don't overreact. Your hairline's fine and you're not fat. You're safe, it's just over speculation. No one has found your exact location. No one is gonna steal your phone. But those girls over there are talking about me, I just
Keir Starmer wants me dead, he's in with the feds. I can't trust the police, they all know my deeds. I am a victim to the powers that be, and they're planning something to slander me. They have a plan, I'm telling you, to ruin my life, and that is why no one subscribes.
It's a little bit chilly out there. I was just doing a little bit of Christmas shopping with the wife and kids, and I'm going to catch myself to death of cold. And I think we know why that is.
Because it's December. December is the month of reflection. We think about the past year and everything that's happened. Now, for this channel, we've already done the top 10 moments, but this video is gonna be the things that a year of collecting comics has taught me.
21.
This marks the anniversary of me restarting my comic collecting. I remember this time last year, I was on a weekend away with my girlfriend in Covent Garden, and we stumbled across the Forbidden Planet megastore, and I thought, wow, that place is full of nerds, but I'm gonna go in and check it out, because I was looking for the graphic novel version of the Transformers series, but it had sold out. So we went to the people working there. I was like, oh, do you have any of these left? They're like, no, but we're getting a new shipment in tomorrow, so if you come back. And I was like, nah, I give up. And as we were going up the stairs, we saw a poster up, and my girlfriend was like, hey, look at that. They're releasing a new Batman comic tomorrow, and it was Absolute Batman issue 2. And I thought, nah, never mind. So I went out, did whatever. I came back the next day, we were walking through Covent Garden. And she said, I went in, I brushed past the nerds trying to draw, and I asked them if they had it, and they didn't have. They still didn't have the Transformers comic. What did they have? Back to that.
21.
Now, my day one subscribers would remember my video Comic Talk in 2025, where I talk about overspending, consumerism, and just buying. That is a real trap you can fall into when collecting comics, and that was something that I really had to gauge. I had to find out when to stop, and I did this by giving myself boundaries. With the series I was following, it was Absolute Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They would all have their first arc of over 5 or 6 issues. 5 or 6 issues. 5 or 6. 5 or 6. 5 or 6.
21.
And you just need to quit while you're ahead, and otherwise you'll be itching like an addict. And I was starting to get the shakes. I was starting to get the shakes, and it was because of comic books. It was because I doubt it was because of any other reason. I have pocket. Another thing I spoke about before in this channel is how many content creators there are talking about comic books right now. On TikTok, on YouTube, I'm scrolling through all of them. And that was the reason why I wanted to get involved in this channel. But the thing is, all these people are telling you what to like, what to be excited for, what you have to go out and buy. And I was getting so caught up in all this excitement. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I ended up just buying loads of things that I wasn't interested in. And what I learned was to not get caught up or wound up and just follow what actually interests you. I have always read Thor, but online no one ever talks about Thor series. It's just not a very popular one to read. And over the last few months, I've dipped back into it, and yeah, it's still really something that interests me. Surprise yield. The last comic I bought was the sequel to the first comic I ever read. I think this one came out in 2012, and when I saw this as a vintage in the shop, I genuinely couldn't believe it. I was like, I recognize what's going on here. And it turned out it was the one after the first comic I'd ever got. But no one's gonna be talking about this shit on TikTok. You gotta know what you like, dude. You gotta know what floats your boat, bro. And don't judge the book by its cover. Never Jada Babay at sea. There's so many comic content creators out there, and it's really hard to like just find your own way and do your own thing, live your own life. And if anyone copies me, you can call me the shortest reigning head of state of China, because I would sue the fuck out of you. Yeah, I know it's a bad joke. That joke is only achievable after one quick Google search, ladies and gentlemen. I know you find that impressive because everyone's thinking about fucking Mao. You know, I've got no problems with Mao Zedong, but it's just like he's stealing all the limelight there. They've got other heads of state in history. You know, it's just like, just fucking Mao. And I'm not the only one that thinks it. Isn't that right, Will Smith? Fucking Mao! The things that are popular between comic content creators are usually like anime stuff. If you're a fan of the show, you remember how I quit reading Batman because the art style was too kawaii, and that's just not for me. I don't like anime, and in the comic book shops there's a whole anime library there for the manga, and that leads me on to my next point. Now I actually love bullying. Anyway, I'll have one comic book, please! You just gotta learn to love, man. Don't be cold, like December, the month of reflection. And it's also the anniversary of when I started collecting comic books. Now I still remember a weekend away with my girlfriend when we were walking through Covent Garden and we stumbled across the Forbidden Planet megastore in London, and it was full of anime nerds, and I just needed to like emerge out from the crowd and take a gasp of air. I needed to emerge from the ocean of people and go Marvel Studios, owned by Disney, DC, owned by Warner Brothers, two mass media companies owned by mass media conglomerates, the biggest ones in the West. But still, comics are making liberal-leaning social comments in the rise of the right-wing society. This is crazy. How can a mass media corporation be doing this? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because comics are still actually subculture. Because no one's gonna be a fucking nerd. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You got the anime nerds over there, you got the comic virgins over there, you got the anime virgins over there, you got the comic nerds over there. Because no one wants to be them, you can have crazy stories go under the radar. Really interesting social commentary about the current world that we're living in, because comics are a very immediate medium. They get released every week and they're constantly being written. So it's constantly new stories, it's constant political takes by artists that are usually left-leaning. So I think it really improves media literacy despite it being such a brain rot medium in itself. I think comics are the original brain rot. People that can't actually sit and read a normal book with just words and no pictures have to go and find something with big explosions drawn on paper and be like, whoa, this is interesting. But I actually think people that read comics are really clever. Nah, I'm just playing. But the political commentary is actually very interesting. I just can't articulate myself well enough because I've been practicing another language. That's it for the video. An amazing year. I've had so much fun collecting comics, and I probably will stop all of this collecting, all of this consumerism. Nothing is more important than going outside and screaming from the hills how much you love life. And also fuck the police.
21